Hello nation, and welcome back to the homestead. Okay, so a lot of y'all know Robin, and you know that Robin is an extremely intelligent person. She doesn't go extreme most of the time. She doesn't act irrational, except for in the springtime. See, Robin has two weaknesses: plants and baby chicks. So if your significant other on your homestead loses all rational thought when they walk into Tractor Supply and they hear the chicks chirping, or when that McMurray catalog comes in the mail, then I'm going to help you out. Today I'm going to tell you some things that you need to have on hand before those chicks arrive. Alright, so the very first thing that you need to have ready before those chicks arrive is someplace to put them. A brooder, if you're warm enough, an outside little chicken tractor. If the brooder can be a plastic bin, it can be something that you make, or you could order one of the fancy ones. But you have to have a place to put those chicks as soon as you go and pick them up at the post office, or as soon as you get home from picking them up at Tractor Supply. Alright, so you have your brooder set aside. Now the next thing we need to talk about is bedding. Now there's a million things that you could use for bedding, so I'm not really going to go over all of those. I will tell you that the pine shavings or sand or some sawdust is your best option, but stay away from cedar, and most definitely stay away from shredded newspaper. Shredded newspaper can get real slick in there, and that can cause what is called spraddle leg. The third thing that you're going to need in order to be able to be successful with raising chicks is a way to keep your chicks warm. So you're definitely going to need a thermometer, because as soon as those chicks arrive, you need to be able to keep their area at least 95 degrees. They need to be at 95 degrees, and then each week you can decrease that by 5 degrees. So you have a couple of options. You can get your heat lamps that you can. Now, be very cautious when purchasing your heat lamps. Do not get the ones that are shatterproof or crack-proof, whatever they're labeling it now, that has the Teflon coating on them. Because as that Teflon heats up, it emits a gas and it will kill your chicks. We learned that one the hard way. Also, with these, be careful on the height that you put this, because if you get it too close to your bedding or too close to your brooder, if your brooder's made out of wood, it can start a fire. Now, you have another option, is if do like how we do. We have a room that's designated for our seed starting room, so we automatically have to keep that room warm. We just keep a space heater in there, and we crank it up in there when the chicks are going to get there, so that room is hot. And that keeps us at right about their area, right about it to 95 degrees. And then we kind of decrease it as we go along, because we have to have it that hot in that room anyway, just to keep the soil temperature with our seed startings at around 70 degrees. Now you have another option that they have out on the market, is this chicken brooder heater, chicken coop heater that they have. Now it can go where it sits down like this, and the baby chicks can crawl underneath it, and it can sit up to keep the coop warm as they get older. Now, the only thing bad thing about this is it can only house like 6 to 8 chicks, 6 to 12 maybe, at a time underneath there. So if you're gonna have 20, 30 chicks, you're gonna need more than one of these. And then the other thing is the cost. This is on the kind of expensive side. This is, and you can get these from 50 bucks on up into the hundreds of dollars. So, but the positive side of that is it will keep them warm. It simulates like it's a mama hen when they crawl up underneath it, and it's a safer option than your heat lamp. Okay, so we've got our brooder, our bedding, and our heat source. All right, let's talk something that's just over the top important, and that's your water. Now, it is extremely important that the moment that your chicks arrive, whether you've ordered them and they've come through the mail or you have picked them up at Tractor Supply, to get them access to water as fast as you can, especially if they're coming through the mail. Now, this is what we do. I strongly suggest you guys do this. We learned this by talking with the folks at McMurray Hatchery, that this really just helps boost the chicks' survivability rate because of the stress from traveling. And that's to get yourself some electrolytes and probiotics. It mixes up kind of like Gatorade. You just mix a little bit up and you put it in their water container, and you give them access to that straight away. Now what we do is we have 2 waterers in our little brooder box inside our seed room. We have one with just regular water, and then we have one with the electrolytes that we keep in there all the time until they're ready to go outside. It really helps combat the stress, helps them get rehydrated, and even from Tractor Supply, because the Tractor Supply chicks have to come through the mail also, and they may or may not give them these electrolytes once they get in. So on the side of caution, and go ahead and get you some electrolytes. I would put in 2 waterers, but in your waterers, I would put in little tiny like pebbles or marbles or stuff like that. That would help prevent your baby chicks from getting in there, pooping in there, and just getting soaked, because nothing will kill a baby chick faster than being wet and cold. The next thing that we're going to talk about is your feed. You got to feed them. So there's really 2 types of feed out there. You've got your medicated and your unmedicated. Now, this is just one dude's opinion, okay? If you're getting your chicks from a place like Tractor Supply or Jockey Lot, flea market type, I would side on the side of the medicated feed. You don't have to, but I would side on that side, just because you really don't know what they've been exposed to in those environments. If you're getting your chicks from a hatchery, especially one like McMurray, they're on top of everything, they're extremely professional, they're really good to go, and you're getting good quality chicks, then you can side on the side of unmedicated. We don't do the unmedicated feed because we get 99% of our chicks from McMurray. We get the stragglers where we can't reel Robin in and she just goes crazy and she just picks up extra birds. But for the most part, all of our chicks come from McMurray, so we side on the side of unmedicated feed. The choice is really up to you. Make sure it's got a good protein count in it to help them grow, and you should be fine. All right, so there you go. Those are the things that we feel are extremely important to have on hand before your baby chicks arrive to improve your chances in being successful in raising chickens, or really any bird. Thanks for coming by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless, and have a nice day.